he was like, hey man, I want to cut this, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, Chayce Beckham, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
I just want to start off, and forgive me if this comes across an ignorant in any way. I don't mean it to at all, but you're from California.
I am, yeah.
What's the country scene like in California? How'd you kind of get into country music? Where'd it come from?
Yeah, my folks are from Oklahoma, and my mom, right before she had me and my sister, she moved from Oklahoma to California. And what's funny is she said that in Oklahoma they didn't really listen to country music, but when they moved out west, she said that's all they listened to.
Okay.
And but I grew up around, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, and they were all from, small town Oklahoma. And I grew up listening to the country stations in Southern California.
Right, so it didn't matter where you were just with your family that listened to country music.
Yeah, mostly growing up, that's what was on in the truck, or when we went fishing, or went out to yard sales and stuff like that. That's whenever you'd be listening to country music.
Awesome. And you're an American Idol winner.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the decision to even just sign up to audition for American Idol. Was it always something you wanted to do, or was it just kind of the next step for you?
I mean, I think as a kid watching TV growing up, watching American Idol, like every kid wants to be on American Idol. It's like this golden dream that you have. You want to hold that shiny microphone and, win the prize and everything, and sing for the judges. And I just never thought it would be something that I would do, and eventually, music was always my passion. But once I, kind of had ran myself down into a little bit of a hole, ended up back living with my parents. My parents actually forced me to audition for American Idol, and they drove me to the auditions and took me there and made me do it.
Right.
And so if it wasn't for them, I would have never done the show. And eventually, kept on getting through the show and won the show, and it totally changed my life.
Amazing. And then, did you debut 23 on American Idol?
I did.
What was it like performing that for the first time?
It was really weird. I've played that song so many times. I think the weirdest thing for me is when you're doing a show, you have to shorten your song. Right. And so I was like, I got to sing the whole song. And they're like, you can do a verse and a chorus. I'm like, that's not going to do it. And so I was so worried that it not being the whole song on the show was not going to work. And it turned out to work pretty well, and everybody liked the song once we released it.
Amazing. And then we talked about how crazy the schedule of an artist is. You're always traveling from here to there. What's one hobby you have that you will always make time for?
Golf.
Golf?
And fishing. Golf and fishing. Those are the two things, the most accessible things on the road. There's always, usually a lake or a creek or something's nearby, so I go fish. And almost every little town there's a golf course somewhere around, or some kind of a golf course. So those are my two things that keep me, from sitting in the bus all day.
Okay. Do you bring your own gear, or do you kind of rent?
I bring all my own stuff. I can't use other people's stuff.
Yeah, I get that. That's amazing. We know that country music's a genre where writing songs for others is so accepted and so normal. Yeah. Have you ever written a song for someone else where you kind of regretted giving it away?
One song I did that I didn't want to give it away, that a friend of mine cut it. His name was Jason Nix, and he's an incredible writer. He actually wrote one of Lainey Wilson's hit songs with her, and he's an artist as well. And we wrote this song together called Love the Way You Dance, and he was like, hey man, I want to cut this, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I think I'm gonna do it, and I ended up letting him cut it. But that's something that I just started talking about, because I've written so many songs that I haven't used. And I'm like, man, at some point you just got to let them go, and then maybe someone later on down the road might find it and make it a hit.
And that's kind of the second joy you get is you have so many, at least they got to see the light of day.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is that these songs, regardless how good they are, everybody should at least get to hear them.
Right.
So I think whoever's going to put them out, to just let them have that and let them put it out. And, I've cut other people's songs that have been on hold forever, and, songs that I fell in love with way later down the road, So it's just one of those cool things. It's a great community in Nashville.
Okay. A good friend of mine's name's Owen Rigling. He's a Canadian country artist. He was explaining to me that when you're a lower level artist, all you do is you write songs wishing you could go on tour and perform. And then once you get to a level where you're going on tour and performing, all you do is you wish you could just be at home writing songs. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you kind of what the balance is there.
I mean, that's true. Parker McCollum's got a lyric that's I'm on the road missing home, missing the road when I'm home. And that's the truest thing is, I love writing music. That's my favorite part, pretty much, is getting to write and play the songs that I, so much love. And, but I've got to the point now where I'm just writing on the road. It's I'm bringing writers out with me, and I'll do a run once a year right now where I'll bring all my favorite guys out on tour, and they'll come out on the bus and they'll hang out with me for 3 3 or 4 days, and we'll just write songs kind of
Cool.
just in a more relaxed environment. You know, it's not
Right.
going to the office and sitting down for a scheduled thing. It's like we're just on the road, and whenever a song pops up, we just go work on it.
Awesome. And it's just a little bit about the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's really just about letting it come naturally. I was never too good at doing the scheduled things,
Right.
you know. So with the guys on the road, it could be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. We're drinking, and I could say, hey man, I got this idea, and we can go and start cracking something out and writing music. So
Right.
that's the cool thing about it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I'll give you the floor if you want to tell the people what's up next for you, where
Yeah.
you be.
Yeah, we're on the road right now. You can check out the Bad For Me tour on my website, CHAYCEBECKHAM.com. We're going to be on the road with Parker McCollum later this year. We got some more dates with Bryan. We're releasing new music, hopefully, probably later on this year. We still got this new album out, Bad For Me, that we released April 5th. Current single at the radio right now is Everything I Need. And yeah, y'all can find it all on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are.
Love it.